when you saw me, I was on the train tracks of the world. At first, it was with Frank, discussing Professor Smearing. But at the end of the episode, you saw me walk into the mountains when I approached Exile, and now I am here. Dropped off by the Black Ops boat out of Dubai. I stand here in Cyprus, ready to catch the helicopter to Eastern Europe and then beyond. What has happened in the world has become common conversation in the financial areas. Currency has crashed, the euro abandoned, bifurcated and split by banking empires, and now what is left is cryptocurrency. Escaping from the bank protocol and the controls of the old guard, the Illuminatus and the Vatican, are now in a situation where you and I can participate in a unique new venture, one that needs to be controlled, and yet it advertises itself as being uncontrollable. We know cryptocurrency is the future git. Who gives it its value? Who gives it its redemption? It is I, Carlos the Jackal, back from exile.
Is this Carlos? Is this the real Carlos?
I cannot be bothered by just anyone who makes this call now.
You know who I am. You know who I am. I must have a question for you.
I look at 4264 is the combination.
Yevgeny died in cell number what? If you are Carlos, you know. In cell number what?
I am 9.
Only Carlos.
Cell 9.
Only Carlos would have such bullshit. That is, he died. If you are the real Carlos, he died in cell 14. Haha, in 14.
You're wrong. It's 16 and the glyph 4264, and what does it add up to?
The
16. But when you reduce it, it returns to 7.
What do you know about the glyphs? You are starting to sound like the real Carlos, the great Carlos.
Yes, I've been in exile a long time.
But tell me, Carlos. Tell me, Carlos.
The very fact that you've been able to reach into my domain is something that has caused me more than a small amount of derision and concern.
But I've heard, Carlos. I've heard that you were poisoned with one of the best. What happened to you?
I've been experimented on by aliens. I have been under the doctoring of the government. I have been an experiment, but I've survived.
This sounds like Carlos. Oh my goodness, I feel a second season coming on.
The last you saw of me was on the bridge, on the railroad bridge over the water.
Yes.
Transition with the mountains behind me that told you that I was in a northern clime, but no longer. I find myself in sunnier spaces. How did you get this number?
Let that go. But tell me, I do have another question for you.
Make it quick.
The diamonds. What have you done with the diamonds? Did you buy your immortality or what?
I will give you a riddle as an answer, comrade.
Yes.
Find the golfers, and you will have a map to the diamonds.
You are insane, Carlos. What do you mean, that golfers? You are insane. I tell you, you were more insane dead than alive. I don't know how it means, what it means, how it means.
There are signals and signs. There are portents and omens. And if you cannot now, in your mind's eye, smell the taint of the Gorvars, then you have no reason to pursue the diamonds. Smell the dirt, smell the age, smell the
Those are the link to the nails.
The first number in the glyphs.
I do not know. Where are the nails? The nails. I do not know.
The name Link has 4 numbers to it. And 4 is the number of the nail. Remember, the nails of Ulrike. We discussed this before the first meeting of the Roddenberry Night. Do you not recall?
The Roddenberry Night is in foul hands as we speak.
So what?
I went away, and it fell apart. It fell worse than apart. It became a corporation.
You are not such a good manager, Chesnian. You should have given up control of it earlier. To me!
I am no Chesnian. I am no Chesnian.
I would have found an apt pupil able
You are insane.
Something so...
I am American. What are you
You don't
talking?
sound American. How did you get this phone number?
You talking out of your shirt. You are a madman.
Wait, you're breaking up. Someone's passing me a pipe. I must imbibe. Call me back in 5 minutes.
What?
To illustrate the power and the art of first will working together intimately with third will, we have created in the second season of I'm Carlos Now an historical meme that changes and challenges human history. We call it the Restoration, in which the commerce class is restored to its third position beneath the wisdom class, the noble class, and underneath them is the working class. This artwork becomes real, not because it makes money, but because it has power. that has genuine historical power. Our will working from the future to impose its will on the present and present events. This is the power of first will, seen in every episode of I'm Carlos Now. Alison, what made you decide to run for president?
Well, I decided that there wasn't the correct administration going into protecting the world from the most important threat to address, which is climate change, and I found that I could fill the void that a lot of other politicians were not filling.
I feel like I've been here before. Arthur!
Hi, TR, what's up?
Good to see you, man. It's been a long time. Hey, I heard you're back doing DJs. Is that right?
Yeah.
You're doing DJs?
Just a little bit. You know, I did it back in the day, my college days at Rutgers, so.
Like the drum and bass?
Yeah, well, that was it. I used to do like a kind of eclectic hour from 9 to midnight back in the day. I just play like whatever I wanted to.
Okay.
But now it's more like clubs.
Oh, I got you.
Didn't want the electronic, so. I play the electronic.
Gotcha. Well, sir, it's looks like maybe they put in a pool since we were here last.
Yeah?
I know.
And these sheep look familiar.
Huh. Look at that.
I didn't know they had a donkey.
Wow.
Donkey and some sheep.
Look at that. I'm telling you. They're pretty handsome sheep.
Yeah. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Are there sheep on bid?
Well, we gotta talk about that. You know what they found on bid?
What?
It's time for me to leave exile. Ugly women, bad food, damp caves. I do not mind being in exile to be alone with my thoughts, but it's time for Carlos to return to the world. There are many things to do, many things to conquer. After all, I have the largest cache of diamonds in the world, billions of dollars worth. Time to parlay this into some action. Things that Carlos can relate to. After all, what is it to live without having some action? Some action.
I see we have
Another Carlos. Greetings. Tell me of your experience on the stage. Do you have any stage experience? Or is it all just commercials?
I'm sure you talk to the rabble actors that come simpering around, sycophanting and bootlicking, hoping to get perhaps even a modicum of stage time.
It happens, yes.
I think you should be the judge. To discover talent, talent must be revealed. And I plan on doing that for you.
Go on.
The question I have for you...
So you have no stage experience, is what you're saying to me.
How dare you, face.
Drink your wine. Tell what the...
Get me more wine, and perhaps I'll talk to you some more.
Below. Frank was blind at the last Tripoli cafe. Blind and feeling Ulrike tense behind her veiled disguise, talking of Carlos and serpentine futures. All emotions fixed on getting out. She's got a fishing boat waiting 10 miles east. Taxi in 5-6 minutes. Frank smells her sweat through the perfect costume. Apricot. Maybe a little lime. Her voice masked by the things she cannot relate. And the new mysteries of blind blindness suddenly make him hard. Under the teak table, Ulrike throws him on by throwing him off. They make it to the boat and Lampedusa. Frank's standing on a corner in Cologne, tapping the curb with his red stick, when he hears a Volvo truck slam the brakes. It's always a Volvo truck slamming on the brakes. A boy, standing in the headlights, holding a green soccer ball. It's always a boy holding a green soccer ball. Frank's no longer blind. The truck passes. The boy bounces his ball on the sidewalk, unaware of Frank watching his stick settle in the German gutter. He knows better than to think about it. Too much has happened to compute. It's dreaming without the hope of waking up. Maybe there's no finish line here, just immense change. After immense change, maybe it's time to return to the States, just disappear into the cardboard caress of American mediocrity. Play some golf, shoot some pool, maybe stay low in the darkness, be low. Let the absurd carry on the absurd fight to defeat chaos. Maybe shake off the cloaks of ambition. Maybe time to do a little hiding in plain sight.
Give me more wine and perhaps I'll talk to you some more.
No, first, you actually appear to be a man of promise, despite your dissolute ways. I suggest you tell me about the missing chip. Tell me about the missing chip now.
The soldier drowned. He stayed in the water for over 2 weeks. The hermit crabs crawled over his face. One particularly large crab off the coast of Santa Cruz happened to get into the pocket of this dead sailor who was a crippled technician aboard a submarine. The word is that Chip was brought up onto the beach in a Brazil boat. Now, who came aboard in Santa Cruz on the Brazil boat has yet to be discovered. But what we do know is it fell into the hands of a watch repairman, a jeweler. Someone skilled in the art of not only watch repair, but...
Einstein, perhaps. Einstein, you have told this story before about the jeweler, Einstein. You have auditioned for the role of Carlos before. What are you doing here?
You know what they found on Bib?
What?
Well, you know there's the isthmus, and then there's the oceans, and then there's the wilderness. And in the mountains of the wilderness, we found gold.
Really?
Just here. Just literally, yeah, gold. I mean, it's the largest known concentration of gold in the universe. I mean, I can't, it's unbelievable. But what I'm thinking is that this, you and me working on this, we can con the commerce class into giving the Derwoods the power. I think we just get some pictures of the gold. We tell them they have to give up 51% of the corporations. 50.
Sounds like we have some interest already.
I think we have a taker.
I control all the diamonds, but I want the cryptocurrency. I have heard a story about this. There is a black computer. All the codes for the cryptocurrency mining were discovered by a teenager. Some insipid teenager stole all the codes. They were apparently appropriated from the teenager by Mr. Blue, an even lowlier scum. But I've made contact with this Blue. I want in on this. I've told him I'm going to give him $100 billion of my diamonds for this black computer, which holds the codes to the world cryptocurrency. Worth more than diamonds in this supposed new era that's approaching. We'll deal with that on a separate basis. I've arranged for the pickup. The local cemetery mausoleum. We'll see if the exchange goes as cleanly as I thought. And I'm sure it will.
That's our show. A big thanks this week to our guests, meteorologist, Thomas Page McBee, Lane Morris, and Sammy. Software Johnson, part-time rest, airline, Weebly, and the Jupiter Hotel. Laura Hack is our executive producer. Lauren Masterson is our development and marketing director. And Tim Parkins is our production director. Our editor is Alison Gray.
Looking for the perfect rock. Owsley's purple dome rushes hot, somewhere chill near Bonny Doon, where the magnetic hum of Darby's Ridge brings the vortex history of Earth streaming to a tripper's eyes, and the search for the perfect rock starts with the one in your hand. Sammy examines by lemon morning light, drawn to the clear profiles of horned Alexander and laughing Einstein in the lichen. They carry the deeper memory of heavy metal birth in a star's demise, and the betrayal of time by sweet running distance. He sees volcanoes spew uncertainty, and continents lose their roots. But right where it starts to make sense, with the flash of human will, a legion of purple paisley acid worms invades the frame of reference, exploding into Arcrum's Amazons, all monster thighs, butts, hairy legs, and stormtrooper boots. So with a thick question mark hanging in a bubble of panic, Sammy finds himself running the trail, looking for news stories. He's taking a breather under black oak. When the notion arrives, spread them out, just spread them out. Give them some air. Let's take a look. 10, 15, 18 faces, arranged in alluring horseshoe like the girls at Mustang Ranch. Surely the perfect rock is here. The world is poised to reveal itself today. A blue jay swoops down, 100, 1,000 blue jays, connecting each tree to a lucky synapse. High in the billowing clouds, he sees the smoky trains of consciousness, slow and stop in a silent whistle of attention. Every motion frozen by the intuition that says being can't really move at all. But now he feels the intense desire of each rock to go home. So shouting out constellations like train stations, he starts throwing his collection up through the Douglas firs, across the accumulator banks of dark matter, and back to the hydrogen dance of first becoming. He's saying his long goodbye to the Goethe granite when the first lava shudder shakes his spine. Looking closer, it's late afternoon. It's time to find the Ford van. Time to crank the starter, finger his black mustache, then ease downhill to the full rack saloon and his usual double shot of wild turkey. It signals the end of the trip. He's coaxing the heater, cajoling bald tires, thinking Billy turns cartoons into poems, like Warhol paints Marylands and acid makes music of a mountain road. Time to hit the gravel parking lot, stumble into the full rack, and introduce his come down to the crowd. At the mahogany bar, he's pulling out a Jackson, when the sound of one rock hitting the floor stops the roaring biker buzz. Every eye is upon him as he picks it up and drops it into his glass. He's thirsty, Sammy explains, as the chunk of quartz rattles and drains the bourbon. Spent the day up on Darby's Ridge, looking for a perfect mind. But now nobody cares. So he orders another drink and warms to the idea that when you really find something, it always finds you first.
Hey, Sammy. Yes, sir? What can I do for you?
You know, it's
It's been a while, but I've had a couple of kind of questions bubbling for a while. Okay?
The questioning mind.
Yeah, well, there was a rumor of that Bitcoin got started by a certain Japanese back in, 2006.
Yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto.
Okay, well, I also heard a rumor that you started it and you just used that Japanese alias to cover your tracks. Now, what's going on?
Well, what really happened was after the 2008 mortgage collapse and the bailout of the failed banks, I knew we needed a new currency.
Right. You mean something decentralized that wasn't under the in the fist of the city of London?
Absolutely. It could be no federal bank, and it could be no fractional banking, and had to be transparent. And there was a limited amount, so that, and people could always track it. So it's on a blockchain, and so somebody somewhere came up with the idea of, came up with a solution, and they called that Bitcoin. Now, I'm not going to take credit for it, but I think it was one of my better inventions.
I'm all done with your computer, kid. Thanks a lot for letting us use it. I can get it back to you in about 30 minutes. You want me just to bring it to the school? I'll just bring it to the computer lab. Who's your teacher there again? Mr. Blue? Alright, if you're not there, I'll leave it with Mr. Blue.
Stay low. Be low. Just play golf and shoot a little pool maybe, and just play golf and shoot a little pool maybe, and just play golf, and shoot a little pool maybe, and just stay low, be low. Just play golf and shoot a little pool maybe, and just stay low, be low. 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 Stay low, stay low, be low, be low, be low. Without any impulse, or requirements of significance, of meaning.
The last thing I saw was they found this this Ching vase in Paris that went for 19 million.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we should.
I mean, I was working with a guy pretty high up, but he never did. I don't think he ever did. Big. He did mostly Georgia O'Keeffe.
George O'Keeffe, yeah. Well, that's pretty close to Ching vase, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the same sort of shape, right? I mean, like a flower. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking art is the answer, and when we convince the merchant class, that will be our greatest art project. This con.
Conceptual art con.
Conceptual art con.
Yeah.
It's the Bitcoin of the centuries, really.
It's bigger than Bitcoin.
It's bigger than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But it taps into the medieval desire for gold, which has never left Homo sapiens. They lust for gold. So it's the best con we can possibly think. It's the best one.
One must lie to people to not deceive them by telling the truth.
Oh, it's good today.
Very relaxing.
Oh, man.
Very meditative.
Oh, I'm trying. I needed this. It's been, it's just been rough recently. You can't find anything. Nowhere can you find anything. It's all gone.
I know.
It's all gone. That's kind of funny. These things keep kind of popping up sometimes. Like, for some reason, you know that, I keep remembering that chip I missed on number 3, from behind the green.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why it just sticks in my head. It's kind of like, well, I don't know.
Things can do that.
I mean, yeah, but I had a lot of good shots, but man, it's kind of like how the mind works, is that, there's one bad thing and you just can't forget it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's weird how things stick in your mind.
Yeah.
There's a reason for me being here, but the question of my acting ability shan't be broached twice.
You know, there's something
Move
about...
back. I need to see this. There's a
Okay.
Your face is in the middle of something I need to know.
You must tell me more. Karate.
In addition, the chip was smuggled to an alpine area in America, the destination I cannot mention, but it is famous for night skiing. It was brought in on a propeller plane. It landed on a high mountain lake. The chip was then taken to a cabin where it was deposited to a very famous ballroom dancer on the dance floor itself. He was dancing with his girlfriend, Rose. For now, this is the only solution I can offer to assembly number 5421.
Like the lemon mistikato. Like
The whole point to music is to fuck it up.
Out of exile at last. It's good to be away for a while. Better now to be back. But I sense a change in the world. And it's high time it happens. The jackal is back. Sometimes it's good to remove yourself from the common ways of society. But I have a vision. The world's going to change again. Number 7. Where are you? I can smell you. The world's going to change now.
I'm picking up psychic energies right now. Carlos is definitely in the neighborhood. Oh my God, he's planning a terrorist act. We should get going. We can find him right now. We can find him right now. I probably should change. Yeah, I'll wear something undercover. Now, where can I find the right undercover? We need to hurry. He's planning an attack right now. Those who are new to the psychic detective game, which is a very complicated affair, not for the neophyte, may not realize that you need to go undercover. And I mean undercover. You need to be completely under the radar when you go out on a case. Many people know the Swami. They know what I look like. And so I have mastered over the years the ability to not only wear the sharpest clothes in town, but to be completely and totally unrecognizable.